Joining us on the Fancast today is small forward Josh Green. Welcome to the show, Josh. Firstly, how's the confidence within the group after winning 3 in a row?
Yeah, it's really starting to grow, and you obviously can tell that we're starting to be really confident if we can hang in there long enough to beat sides above us, which is really good.
What did you make of the Melbourne match, Josh? I guess it was always going to be tricky up there, being hot and humid and not a sort of traditional footy venue. How did you find that result and the conditions up there against Melbourne?
Yeah, just talking to all the boys after the game, it was one of probably the hardest games that I've personally ever played in, and that's the feeling from most of the blokes in the team. So we weren't really sure what to expect. Like Melbourne obviously got a new coach, so they were obviously going to come out and you can see that they've improved with their competitiveness. So it was always going to be a tough game, and not many supporters up there. So we really had to dig in and work hard for 4 quarters until we broke away in that last quarter. But Melbourne really pushed us, and it's one of those games where you just come away and it wasn't really a convincing win, but one that, we got the 4 points, which is the main thing.
It looked like pretty taxing conditions at TIO Stadium too. I think you're probably not used to it coming from Tasmania. How did all the boys pull up after it?
Yeah, most of the boys were a little bit sore actually. We only really train in that sort of heat during the pre-season, but don't really get to play in that sort of heat. But talking to the boys this morning, everyone's put up pretty well. But we've got a really big focus this week on recovery with back-to-back travel, so just a little bit of a lighter week, which is good.
Huge game this weekend, Josh, against Port Adelaide. They're in 8th spot, had a really good season. Have you seen much of them this year, and what have you made of their form?
Yeah, I watched them a couple of times this year, and they've really improved. Last year when we played against them, they're really competitive for 4 quarters, and they've beaten some really good sides. So playing away against them, it's going to be a tough game, and I think if we can hold to the last quarter, and then with that confidence we've got the last 3 or 4 games, that we can beat sides above us, that would be the situation we'd like to be in.
There has been a lot of talk about the side's ability to beat clubs above you, but it's also been a focus of late to beat the sides around you, which was really what's happened in the Gold Coast game and then the North Melbourne game. How much of a focus is it to keep that going against Port Adelaide and to really start showing that those days of losing all the close ones to the sides around you are done and dusted?
Yeah, it's one of our main focuses, just trying to sort of bridge the gap of beating sides around us, and there's no bigger task than this week away, back-to-back travel. Port Adelaide are playing good footy, and we've won 3 in a row. If we can win that 4th in a row, I reckon that'd be great for our confidence, not only for this year but for next year. And for a young group like ours, we really need to start stringing some really good wins together and building that confidence as a group.
What do you think the key is to beating them, Josh? They're pretty strong all over the ground. Where do you think you can get them on the weekend? If
we're going to be able to win, I think we'll have to beat them in the midfield. I think generally most games are decided in the midfield. If we can get the clearances up, we can contest the ball, and then I guess the defenders win their one-on-ones and the forwards take our opportunities. I think if we get those 3 things right, we can really push Port Adelaide. But as I said before, they really have a crack, and it's going to be a really good contest, I believe.
One of your most impressive games for the club was near the end of last year against Port Adelaide down at Amy. I think you got quite a few goals and had a pretty big influence in conditions that weren't really made for clean handling of the ball in the forward line. Does that give you confidence that you can play well against this side? Yeah,
it was sort of a rainy day last year, so it sort of helps being a bit smaller. So if it rains again, I'd be pretty happy. But obviously it helps that you've played an okay game against them, and I kind of do like playing at Amy Stadium due to the size of the ground, and there's a bit of space to work into. So if I can just play my role for the team, chase tackle, and get a few goals for the team, that'd be great.
Just on your own form, Josh, you've obviously been in and out of the team a little bit, particularly of late. How was that, having to go back to reserves and work on your game back there?
Yeah, so I went back for about a month. Just had to get that zip back again, just wasn't really chasing or tackling enough. So sort of went back and worked on that and went to the midfield a little bit just to get a bit more run. And obviously we kept chatting during the week and just seeing how it was going. And once I got that back in the reserves, he brought me back into the side. And I'm starting to get a bit more confident each week now, and just got to keep doing my role in the team, which I've already spoke about. And that's all I can do, really.
Ever since that amazing West Coast match in round 10 of last season, you have been seen a bit as the super sub of the club. I think Anthony Hudson dubbed you that in that game. Do you like this idea of being a specialist sub, or are you really trying to shake that?
I'm happy to play any role in the team, if that's a sub or a full game. But yeah, look, I really want to sort of cement my spot in the team and hold down that small forward, and then eventually push up in the midfield in the next couple of years. So it's not something you really want to have the tag of, but if that means me playing that role for the team, I'm happy to do that.
You said just before, Josh, that you lost a bit of zip and you weren't chasing and tackling as, I guess, to your usual standard. Was there any physical reason behind that? Did you have a niggling injury or something, or was that just like a mental and a work rate sort of issue?
Oh, probably just a build-up of getting a little bit sore, and then I lost a little bit of confidence. Don't feel like I was contributing to the team enough, so I felt a little bit of confidence as well. So just build-up of two of those things were the main factor, but just losing sight of the fact if I just chase and tackle, all the good stuff will come after that. So just trying to keep it simple and enjoy my footy.
You did come to the club after playing largely as an inside midfielder in your junior days. Has it been a challenge to become almost a permanent small forward, and are you really trying to get your way into more midfield time?
Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge. I've obviously got the 3 Rs in the midfield, Brent Maloney, Simon Black. So we've got some really good emerging midfielders and some experienced midfielders, which is really good. So, at the moment I'm pretty happy just playing that small forward role. He has given me a few goes at the back end of quarters to have a bit of a go in. So he's given me a bit of a taste, which is good. And, I just got to keep working on my fitness and repeat speed to sort of get to every contest. And, yeah, maybe next year, maybe the year after, you never know. Just got to bide my time and be patient.
Just before we let you go then, Josh, we were going to have to ask about this. Have you heard finals being spoken about at all by any of the boys, or is it very much a banned word around the club at the moment?
It's not banned. It's just one of those things that we don't really talk about. We're just focused week to week of what we're going to do to prepare for the week coming up. And as I said before, this is a really important game for us, and the opportunity to win 4 games in a row is big, and something I see is a confidence booster for probably next year. So, we're taking the right steps towards maybe that next year, but at the moment we don't even deserve to think about finals yet, I don't think.
Well, thanks for joining us on the show today. All the best with continuing to cement your spot in the side. I know you bring a lot of excitement and are a bit of a fan favourite, and hopefully you boys can get the job done against Port on Sunday.
Thanks for having me, guys.
This week is a massive one for the Lions. The reserves in the NEAF will have the bye, so they'll be sitting back watching the seniors as the rest of us will be taking on Port down at Amy. It's 1:10 p.m. Brisbane time, 12:40 p.m. Adelaide time on Sunday. And Mike, I can't remember going into many more matches in the past few years where the stakes have been this high.
Yeah, absolutely. As we said on our show earlier in the week, if they lose, they're gone. And if they win, they're right in the thick of the finals picture with 5 rounds to go. So
which is amazing considering where we've come from.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it wasn't that long ago we were talking about the horrendous 8-week stretch and how could we possibly win a game there, and the season's over and Vossi's in trouble. But gee, all of a sudden it's turned around. So one more win this weekend puts you right in the thick of the action. You think they can do it?
I think they can. I'm going Lions by 16. There's the tip.
Another prediction.
What about you?
I was hoping to sneak off air without having to put my prediction in, because I'm a bit of a closet Port fan, actually. I think they've been super impressive. And,
Hanley ad is going to hurt us.
It is, yeah. That was bad news during the week about Pearce missing. So depending on the ins, that'll have a big influence. But I think Port's just so impressive. They've just, I think they're very difficult to beat, and I think they're going to sneak home. But I think it'll be very close this time. A couple of predictions I've made this year where I've thought Brisbane are going to get blown out, and they haven't. But I don't think that'll be the case this time. I reckon this will be a beauty within 2 or 3 goals. But I think Port might sneak over the line.
Heard it from Mike here. Port by 50. Will be a massive game, and we'll be back next week to review it all and look forward to the St Kilda game. For now, that's us. See ya.
See ya.